Hey guys, welcome back to the Being Prepared series, covering food today. Food's a pretty big topic, probably everyone's favorite topic. In fact, it's kind of making me hungry just thinking about talking about all the food that we're going to be talking about when we talk about it. But we are going to be breaking this up into several sections. I think it's important because when you are talking about food, there's the everyday food. I touched on this on a previous video, but when you work out a budget for what your family needs, or you work out, what your normal groceries are that you buy, when things are non-perishable, or they will last for many years, instead of buying it again next week, why not buy two of it? If you buy a certain soup or a certain can of something or a bag of something or powdered something, have more than just that week. And I realize that financially it's not always the easiest thing to come up with more food every week because you're waiting for that paycheck to pay for that paycheck. But there are things and ways around that. Now, certainly I quite enjoy shopping at basically a discount grocery store. It's stuff that's almost expired. So yeah, that stuff probably won't last on the shelf, but you know what? Some of it does, and it's perfectly fine years later. So in this series, we are going to be covering a little bit of both. I won't cover too much about what my normal groceries are. If you've been following the channel, you know that I work out quite a bit now. So things in my pantry are protein powders and things like that. And so through this, recent pandemic, I've got 4 or 5 giant 3-pound tubs of a good quality whey isolate protein of different flavors. That not only satisfies my body, but it's a nice treat for me. I enjoy having a little bit of yogurt and, protein powder. That's kind of my sweet treat. So having those fun little things. I've got Thrive powdered cookie mix. And so that way the kids can make cookie dough. Now, we can certainly make it out of flour and things like that, and we have been. But that was one of the first things to go after toilet paper, was people were just buying up flour because bread went off the shelf and people started making bread at home. So, some of your bigger preparedness items, I for years have been using the 5-gallon buckets with the, I almost want to say Omni lids, the screw-on lids. Not only does that keep just the nasty little gnats and insects that inevitably come into your home, but it's a good secure way. People have a hard time with those big pry lids on the 5-gallon buckets, and I use them on a daily basis. So a 25-pound bag of flour or rice or anything else goes in those 5-gallon buckets. I'll put in some shots of my pantry, and that way I can rotate out. Right? Then I come out to the shop, the garage, wherever I've got the rest of the other rice and the other flour stored. I do store regular wheat, like whole wheat. So when I have electricity, unfortunately, I used to have a hand mill, stone mill, and it broke in my move from Seattle. Still one of the gets me right here. It's one of my pride and joys that got broke, still not sure how, and I just have never gotten around to replacing it. So I use a conventional, very high quality blender, obviously, because I do a lot of smoothies for my workout regimen. So the theory of storing food is, you start small and you get a little bit bigger. And again, I do the same thing. It could be dog food, or dog Quincy is laying at my feet while I make this video. And when it's on sale, why not buy 3 bags? You're going to buy it next month anyway. Certainly now she's covered for 3 months out. And when it goes on sale again, you buy another 3 bags. And you buy it in a large enough quantity that is naturally preparing, right? Our grandparents, my grandmother, bless her heart, used to always talk about having the staples. When I was in college and she saw how I was living in a dorm room, she's like, you have to have the staples. You've got to have all the regular stuff, the sugars and the rice and all of your staple items. Think of your pantry like your grandparents did. How many cans of something that they have in there for hours and years and decades maybe? I'm pretty sure my garlic seasoning that I got from my grandmother in college is still on my shelf somewhere. But it's still perfectly fine. And it's those items that you need to look at and prepare. And so if you can't buy bread, if you can't buy enough quantity of bread. Sorry for that little blip of interruption. My fiance was peeking in the window there, and she's gorgeous and she distracts me easily. But as I was saying, there is only so much freezer space for bread or shared space for other stuff. You'd rather throw the freezer meat in there or take it up with bread. So to have the ability, you know, we still, during this soft apocalypse, I call it, we have electricity, we have Wi-Fi, we can Google recipes, try making your own bread, try failing. It's okay. But you got to have those basic necessities in order to make that stuff. I think when people think of preparedness in the food department, they picture stockpiles of stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I've got cases and cases of freeze-dried food. Freeze-dried food, if you're not familiar, they use a high pressure and freezing process and they remove out most of the moisture out of this food. And we're going to look at it, we're going to touch it, we're going to feel it, we're going to taste it, at least I'm going to taste it. But I'm going to show you what freeze-dried food is and how you can use it every day and what it looks like after being opened. So with this stuff, I wanted to know, are the peas good? Are the carrots good? What does it taste like? So I started opening up a lot of this freeze-dried food that was meant for storage because I was buying it on basically a monthly allotment. And if I didn't like a product, I wanted to know now, so I didn't end up stocking 20 cases of something I don't like. I chose the brand Thrive. We talked about it a little bit already. I did sell from their multi-marketing company a little bit, but I actually really liked it because it was high quality product, and it was done by individual ingredients. And we'll talk about that in the Thrive video, and I'll probably break that into its own video because we're going to test some of the products that have been open for a very long time. But food is not a difficult subject. It's not a hard one. It just takes a little time. It might take a little space. It is tricky to do in apartments, but I did it in Seattle, and those 5-gallon buckets with the twist top lids were crutch for getting everything fit because I could stack it. You can color code the lids so you know which is sugar, which is flour, which is grains, and it's an easy way of doing it instead of buying smaller amounts. That also clears out more space into just normal shelves. There are different containers that you can use to store under beds. Again, I go back to Thrive, but they had some very innovative sections that you could put in your shelves that just held more cans instead of try to stack it up. You were able to rotate, so the new stuff fell to the back, old stuff rolled to the forward, and that way if you wanted raviolis for the family, that was right up front. So I'm going to hold this video here. We are going to break this into several sections. Let's make this as a food intro, and let's start the conversation and let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you down the road. Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.